Morning and welcome to Thought for the Day for this Monday. A short moment just to think about where we're at. And this might sort of think a little bit very briefly about disconnection, dislocation. It was a real joy yesterday to get a little yellow leaflet through the door. I remember handing out the sort of precursor to this leaflet some weeks ago where the Clanfield Coronavirus Community Support Group was setting up and getting their details out there. And this is the one to say that we're now in a position with the reduction in cases and things with COVID and the added freedoms of relaxed lockdown for the responsibilities of that group to be handed back to the Clanfield Care Voluntary Group. And it's a joy because that's a sign of progress, a sign of hope. And the other side is it does say that the Coronavirus Community Support Group will be ready to spring into action should coronavirus raise its head again. And it has been a time of real community support. It says, and it's amazing, isn't it, that 250 households helped, over 500 home deliveries made, all sorts of things that have gone on, and what an encouragement that should be for us as community. But we as humans, despite the individualism and that characteristic of postmodern society, we're made for relationship, for interconnection one with another, to be part of community. I think this is in part what is that sense of being made, or that truth of being made in the image of God, as the Bible tells us. You know, God who is Trinity, God who is um, community and still one God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But over the last few days, there's been a number of instances where people have expressed their sense of dislocation, disconnection from various things in the midst of all of the isolation of lockdown. And that does still continue. Social distancing still goes on. Our ability to gather is still very limited. Today marks a special day if you're shielding, because the 6th of July from today, the government has said that people who are shielding can meet up to 6 people outside, yeah, 6 people from beyond their household and outside at a social distance. So hopefully that will start to draw together the links between people again. And I really hope to be out and about and start actually getting to meet face to face with some of the parishioners who I haven't had a chance to meet, or meet properly anyway, having started as priesthood just before lockdown. I suppose what I'd say in terms of what can we do is, as we come out of lockdown and as we start to rebuild our connections and rebuild our links, let's keep our eyes open to those who don't re-emerge, those who are caught in the midst of dislocation, caught in the midst of disconnection and the disorientation of this time. Let's be kind to one another as we reconnect, because frankly, there's a lot of people who aren't used to seeing people. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. Let's be gentle with one another. And I'd say first and foremost, let's keep this sense of community, of loving one another, for the fact that we're just neighbours geographically, and keep our eyes open and just keep in contact with those we have been. Don't presume that they're, that things will go back to normal for them. And I know that there are so many good people out there who will do exactly that without me saying it. So this is just kind of an encouragement to all this morning to continue to keep our eyes open and perhaps to pay special attention to those people who we only saw occasionally in the past, every once in a while, perhaps to wave to. And just if we don't start seeing them again, to reach out to them and just check they're okay. Hope your Monday is filled with blessings and perhaps new instances of face-to-face contact at a social distance, and staying safe and staying well. God bless. Amen.